with The Real Cinemas Blackpool and Ballincollig and online at therealpicture.com.
In a world where there's a million movie podcasts, here comes another one from themoviebit.com. This is the podcast.
Christ. Who taught you that technique? A friggin' cheese grater?
Anything gets more than 3 blocks out, you turn it back, you turn it to ash. So you listen to me and you listen well.
Hey everybody, how we doing? Welcome to the podcast from themoviebit.com in association with the folks at The Real Picture Cinemas Blackpool and Ballincollig. Check them out online, therealpicture.com. His name is Tom White.
Hello.
My name is Victor Barry. Hello to the people who are watching on Facebook Live. So you can interact with the show. You can do it a number of ways. You can email podcast@themoviebit.com. You can hit us up on Twitter @themoviebit. And we love hearing from you people. Absolutely love it. So please get in touch. And all you need to do is hit us up on any of those. And of course, if you're watching on Facebook Live, please drop in and leave us a comment if it's all on fire, or if there's something you disagree with, or you spot something weird.
That ginger guy.
Yeah, then let us know. Please drop us a comment @themoviebit on Twitter, and so on and so forth. All of those multiple ways that we have of getting in touch, that you have getting in touch. So, this is episode 295, I think. Peter Foot, director and writer of The Young Offenders, was episode number 294. If you subscribe on iTunes and Stitcher, you get all of those for free. For free.
Yeah,
For free.
for free.
For free, like Tom's t-shirt. Awkward silence. These are the uncomfortable silences that Quentin Tarantino once spoke about.
It's cost me like 20 quid.
Okay, really. Tom arrived here more drowned than the front row 50 Shades of Grey.
Oh, God.
We're off to a good start. Anyway, so look, get in touch. And as we like to start each and every show, we like to teach you good stuff, real good stuff about the movies.
Tom's Trivia Tree.
So, Tom, what have you got for us this week? What good stuff do you bestow upon me for my wrongdoings in life,
Sins.
and everybody else that's out there?
All right, first up, the girl who punches Shia LaBeouf in the diner scene in Indiana Jones and Kingdom of the Crystal Skull is Sasha Spielberg, the author of Steven Spielberg and Kate Capshaw.
Really?
Yep, the greatest job in cinema.
Okay.
Punching Shia LaBeouf.
I mean, he's got punched a lot in real life as well.
Yeah.
People just kind of walk up to him and go, "You're fucking Shia LaBeouf!" Boom! And
So it's easy to do, you're saying. All I have to do is go to New York.
more or less, yeah. Just find him anywhere. On a plane, in a toilet, on the street, in
Let's
his
punch him.
house. And that would be it, yeah.
We can say it's a performance art piece.
Yeah, that would work.
Oh, didn't he do one?
Yeah, hang on.
Yeah.
Double up, double loop, loop, loop. Figured. It is easy to do.
Yeah, he did one where you went through an art gallery with like props from all the movies, and it ended with you in a room shouting at them.
That is correct.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. What else we got for us, Tom?
So he wants it to happen.
Yes. I want it to happen.
Um,
Or maybe you could just come here and punch Tom.
would you punch
Or-
this face?
I fucking would.
You have.
I would punch it until you looked like you had a stroke. That's probably a bit extreme now, admittedly,
yeah.
but you know.
God.
I'm going to hell.
We're going to get kicked off again. In Attack
It's
of
all right. Nobody is watching.
in Attack of the Clones, Anakin is slaughtering the Tusken Raider village. You can hear Qui-Gon's voice in the background. This is no accident, because according to Star Wars canon, Qui-Gon's Force Ghost tried to stop Anakin's rage but failed.
Qui-Gon and old Jedis turn up in quite a lot of movies.
Yeah.
Don't they?
Yeah, that's...
I'm sure he's probably Qui-Gon Jinn is probably somewhere in
Force Awakens?
The Force Awakens, yeah.
Probably just like bombing around the galaxy.
Or he's probably in Taken. Somewhere as well. Anyway, go on. What else have we got?
And finally, in the Avengers, you never see Bruce Banner becoming Hulk. Oh, no. Sorry. You see Bruce Banner becoming Hulk, but you never see him converting back to Bruce Banner. In the Age of Ultron, you never see Banner become Hulk, but you see him revert back to Banner.
That's one of the geekiest, weirdest things ever. Is it a budget thing?
You think the Avengers worried about budget?
I don't know. Would it not have been easy just to reverse the effect?
I don't know. I think it's like knowing Joss Whedon is probably a geeky thing, as you said.
Yeah, I guess and you're the only ones who ever noticed that, which is insane.
Yeah.
But that's why you're here, Tom, and that's why we call this Tom's Trivia Tree, tasty treats that he cooks up.
It's not because my name rhymes.
No,
Or
it's
alliteration.
not. No, the TTT is what we've got here. Alrighty, let's get down to it on reviews. By the way, do get in touch with us. You can email podcast@themoviebit.com. If you're a subscriber on Stitcher and iTunes, you know that already. If not, subscribe and you get every new episode for free. And if you're watching on Facebook Live, you can drop us a comment there if you wish. Ben-Hur. Now, you know things are bad when a movie studio quotes the Irish Catholic as giving it an astounding spectacle is what the Irish Catholic called Ben-Hur.
God.
They gave it 4 stars, and Paramount over in this neck of the woods, and probably worldwide, the Irish Catholic have been quoted, have ran
made
with that
us.
quote. Yeah, they ran with that quote on the posters, which I guess, considering after what we gave it and everybody else gave it, they said, okay,
We need something.
But it's quite obvious that the Irish Catholic would give something like Ben-Hur.
Yep.
You know.
Yep. Good old JC, isn't it?
The Irish Catholic strikes me as something that's in there with Ireland's own. Irish people will get that. Everybody else that's listening and watching won't.
Actually, I have fun memories of Irish Own when I was a kid.
Ireland's own, really?
Yeah.
Okay. Tom's weird.
I was always in my granddad's house, and whenever I was over there, I just flicked through it.
Of all the things you could have done in someone else's house, oh, there's a copy of Ireland's own. I love that. Oh, yeah.
I was on a farm.
Did they not have the newspaper on the farm?
No.
So they had Ireland's own.
Had Ireland's own.
Jesus. Okay, all right, go on. So Ben-Hur is currently getting 4 stars from the Irish Catholic. It's been quoted everywhere. The dudes at the Irish Catholic must be going, we're pretty fucking cool. Sorry, they wouldn't say the fucking
No,
part. They
no.
would go, oh, we're pretty. Oh, I nearly knocked the mic. They would have said that too. Oh, we're pretty impressed with ourselves. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Good lads, the Irish Catholic, yeah. I know where I'm going for my reviews of Sausage Party, kiddies. The Irish Catholic.
I'm getting 2 pieces of Eucharist on Sunday.
Vince says on Twitter that Bill Bixby is the only David Banner. That's you put in your place.
Did I say David Banner to the Bruce?
I don't know what you said.
All right.
I wasn't listening. But anyway, that's fair enough.
I apologise if I said David
Okay,
Banner.
look, we digress. We digress and go off in tangents as per usual. If you're listening, you've turned off by now. Ben-Hur.
Ben-Hur.
We didn't give it 4 stars like the Irish Catholic.
No. Quite the opposite.
Normally, like, can I just address this? And I know the folks at Paramount are going, okay, quick, get out that black marker to scrape his name off the list again. I like movie studios quote positive things. They never quote, well, the movie is shit, come see it.
Yeah.
But they quote generally newspapers, websites, you know, so the entertainment section of whatever newspaper or the moviebit.com or wherever. And lo and behold, though, they're quoting the Irish Catholic, which I'm not even sure what the Irish Catholic... Maybe it's just a movie about Irish...
Welcome to the Irish Catholic bit, where we just look through the Irish Catholic website.
The Irish Catholic. So here we go, just in case anybody's wondering. That's what it looks like. The Irish Catholic lads are going, just they're getting fierce publicity on this quote in the pictures. What have they got? St. Mary's First Procession. Yeah. Irish campaigners.
Nice and pretty.
Oh, there's a good picture of Mother Teresa. How are you, Mother? How are you getting on, Teresa? Good girl. Yeah. Father. Yeah. Whatever. Is it even in here? I'm really going off the beaten track
Reviews.
here. Is there? Oh, reviews. They're probably reviewing masses.
I was about to say that.
Mass in County Carlow, Sunday, September the 11th, 2016. The priest went up in the pulpit and 'twas great. So reviews. Catholic in the Bible, take it as read. Woody Allen co-autopilot and bit. Where's the Ben-Hur thing? Do they even have a search in this website? Oh, they do. Ben-Hur. The creationists would love this website as well. Okay. No review of Ben-Hur.
Oh, no, wait.
Hang on.
Yeah.
No.
Speak it out.
Revenge, racetracks, and redemption, says the Irish Catholic. Right, okay. There you go. Just as a long one, isn't it?
No, it's just an interview.
It's an interview, is it? Yeah.
Yeah.
Greg Daly talks to Roma Downey about her involvement in Hollywood's new take in Ben-Hur. 4 stars. Cheers, lads. So I don't know wherever they've pulled that out anyway. But so look, we've enough about Ben-Hur, right? From the Irish Catholic. Time to get the Tom and
Yep.
Ben-Hur.
The Irish Tom. So Ben-Hur, this is the 5th remake of Ben-Hur.
Is it the 5th?
Yeah.
Really?
There was...
I only thought it was the 2nd or 3rd.
No,
Jesus.
there was...
Sorry, Irish Catholic.
There was 2 silent movies in 1907, 1928, then the one we all know in 1959, and then a cartoon in 2013.
Anime?
No?
Like tentacles and shit
No,
flying out of the
a
chariots.
cartoon with Charlton Heston.
Okay.
No, so okay. No, I may be wrong. Maybe 2003, but still, a cartoon exists with the voice of Charlton Heston.
Fair enough.
Yeah. So,
For a time.
this new, they call it a reinterpretation, a reimagining, a reinvention. It kind of changes a few things from the story we know. Now, Judah Ben-Hur, played by Jack Houston, and Masala, played by Toby Kebbell, they're adopted brothers. Masala being a Roman, and Ben-Hur being from a privileged Jewish family. And Masala kind of goes off on his own, becomes a private in the Roman army, and through shenanigans, Ben-Hur takes the blame for an assassination attempt on Pontius Pilate, is forced into slavery, gets out, and looks for revenge. And that's Ben-Hur in a nutshell. And this pretty much, like the 1950, the version from 1950, it is. I've watched this ages ago, and it's worth all of the praise that's heaped upon it. It deserves it. It's nearly 5 hours long. It is an epic, and this just condenses everything down into just a familiar story we've seen time and time again. I'm not talking about all the remakes of Ben-Hur.
So we're talking like the Fast and the Furious with Pony and Chariots.
Kinda, yeah.
Okay. All right.
Like, it's a simplifying of Wallace's tale that we just couldn't care less about, and it's pointless, and it's lifeless, and it's just shit.
Not words you'll hear in the Irish Catholic, I'd say. I can see a cease and desist coming from them. On that grounds, I don't know.
The worst thing about it is it's something that remakes are doing, and it just really pisses me off. It's fallen back on well-known tropes and plot devices, and it takes every opportunity to remind you of the 1959 version.
Okay.
Like, please realise we don't need, like, if you're going to make a remake, make it on its own merits. Don't have it just a rehash of what came before. Like, yes, they do make changes, but at the end of the day, they don't mean anything. Like, things happen for the sake of happening. Masala becomes a cartoonish villain at the drop of a hat. The script just, like, Rodrigo Santoro's Jesus, he gets more of a showing here. He's like a major character in it, and he just seems to be in there for the sake of being in there. Everything he does, like everything that kind of comes from his character, could have been done without him being in it. He doesn't need to be there. The actors can't make the script work. Jack Houston is not a good leading man. Kebbell is not a good villain. Morgan Freeman is just there, I think, because he was paid money.
I needed a new extension on my house, so I said some biblical epic movie would pay me a shit ton of money. Little did I know it would be reviewed favorably by the Irish Catholic. I love them folks at the Irish Catholic, don't you?
Like, this is directed by Timur Bekmambetov, who did Wanted.
Who is an amazing action director.
Yes.
Fucking amazing.
An amazing visual director, amazing action director, and given the great script, given the right script, he can make really powerful stories. Not so here. It's all about the chariot race. That, like, it really.
How long does the chariot race go on for?
It's 10 minutes.
So it builds to this.
It builds to this.
Okay.
It starts off. You get the taste of it from the opening frame. Kind of like you see the start of it, and then it flashes back to how you got there. And there is some really nice visual scenes, like the scene with the galleys when Ben-Hur finally escapes. That's really well done, but they're very few between. And I will admit, the chariot race is an absolute spectacle. They did it all in camera. They have GoPros in every part of the set, in the tracks, on the horses, on the wheels. Like, it gives you a real sense of impact, but it's way too little, way too late. And Ben-Hur just shouldn't exist. This Ben-Hur 2016 shouldn't exist. It is pointless, it is lifeless, and has no reason being here. 1 star.
Wow, we haven't had a 1-star review in a while, actually.
Yeah.
I to the best of my knowledge, the last 1-star review that we had on themoviebit.com was Gods of Egypt.
Me again.
Before that, it was The Do-Over.
Me again.
Before that was Point Break.
It's clear.
Before that, it was Dirty Grandpa.
Me.
Before it was Hitman Agent 47.
Not me.
Before that, it was Hot Pursuit.
Clear.
Then The Gallows.
Not me.
Then Survivor.
Not me.
Then Fuckhead Mall Cop 2 review.
Whoop, me again.
So yeah, I mean, Tom doesn't dish out the old 1 stars likely.
No.
The lads in the Irish category going, I'd say he's one of the...
And there was like 6-7 months between all those stars.
Yeah, you're just not into Jesus and the Bible, really. That's what it's all about, people. Isn't it? That's what it is, yeah. At themoviebit.com on Twitter.
All the hate this way, please.
Yeah, to Tom. We'll never make it out tonight. Jesus, huh? Right, moving on to something else that's far, far, far removed from things of a biblical nature, and that's Kubo and the Two Strings. And I've got a bone to pick with the studio for this one.
Okay.
For a very different reason than we'd be picking bones about the Irish Catholic and Paramount and whatever. But, like, it's really hard, when you look at Kubo and the Two Strings, it's really hard to fathom how Leica have produced such a monumental piece of work. Especially when you consider Kubo and the Two Strings was made on a 12-foot table, which is roughly twice the width of the table here, maybe. Yeah, just about 2. Yeah. Maybe if you lost some weight, like you could come in here and do some. But during the credits, yeah, you can see they do this time lapse of stop motion and how it was done. But that aside, like, this is a visual masterpiece. It will blow your mind. You'll go, oh, that was done on a computer anyway. Not a hope. All of this was stop motion. It's incredible to look at.
Didn't they build a 12-foot puppet?
Yeah. It's actually, I think it's even bigger than 12 feet.
It might be 18.
That's this big skeleton, and he's ginormous, and they motion animated this guy. Or stop motion, rather. And look, you know what? Kubo and the Two Strings, the story ain't bad either, even though it will go over the heads of members of the audience who are very, very young, or their IQ is as low as their pants. Here's an animated movie that demands your full attention. In a nutshell, a young boy named Kubo must find a magical suit of armor, which was once worn by his late father, in order to defeat a vengeful spirit from the past. That's the story at its most basic, but ultimately this is a fantastical tale that takes the audience on an incredible journey. It's full of twists and turns, and it's coupled with a rather superb finale and an ending that will just kind of sucker punch you. That's the new thing for the Facebook Live video.
Yeah, just...
to have such a complex story in a piece of animation, because people always, it's an anime movie, it's for kids, it's animated, sure, what, it's not going to be complicated, it'll be dumb shit stuff. If we've learned anything from Pixar, the animated movies are far from dumb shit, and Kubo and the Two Strings takes it to a new level, because as I said, this movie demands your full attention, and if you give it your full attention, you are going to be rewarded time and time again. Like, there's no hand holding here. You just have to go with it and kind of absorb it all in, because you do have to pay attention. As I said, young kids, there's a bit too much going on for the young kids. However, the visuals will keep them in the seat. It really is a spellbinding experience, no matter what way you paint Kubo on the Two Strings. It's spellbinding. You've got a very good voice cast inside here as well, including Rooney Mara, Matthew McConaughey, Charlize Theron, Ray Fiennes, and George Takei. Oh my. And they round things off, but it's McConaughey and Theron that sound like they thoroughly enjoyed their work here, and they're a perfect match for their animated counterparts. Look, I can't say enough about the visuals of this thing. They're completely enveloping. They're genuinely surreal in places. It's the story that kind of leaves things down ever so slightly. It gets a little bit too clever, a little bit too convoluted in one or two places, and the occasional scene, as a result, drags on a couple of seconds longer than it should. These are minor gripes, though, for a movie that gives you so much. It wears its heart well and truly on its sleeve, and it handles death in the most beautiful way imaginable. It really handles death incredibly well, particularly for young kids. It's amazing. 4 stars for Kubo and the Two Strings.
Yeah.
Without doubt. But on a different and a bit of a personal note, I didn't catch this press screening for Kubo and the Two Strings. I attended the 3D screening with Cameron, my son, in a local theatre chain here. And so it was shown on the biggest screen. It was on screen 1. Generally, screen 1 is the biggest screen in any cinemaplex that you go to. And excluding yourselves, there was 6 other people there. Right, and this was like a wet Sunday morning, like 11:30. So ideal scenario to go, oh look, you know, it's raining, we can't, let's go to the movies.
Yeah.
Right?
Tickets were probably cheap as well.
You know, that's why you go to.
Yeah.
I don't know, was there a lack of a full-blown marketing campaign? I don't think we did a lot with Kubo and the Two Strings and the moviebit.com. We didn't get a lot of press releases about it.
Yeah.
You know, I haven't seen a great lot of it, to be honest. I mean, I don't know, but look, maybe the movie doesn't look appealing. Maybe they just said, oh, look, we're just not going to be able to market this, and they made a decision to recoup the funds when it comes to home release. I don't know.
It's kind of weird because, like, other Leica movies, like Coraline, Paranorman, like, they've all done well. So it's just maybe, like, a samurai movie isn't appealing to people.
Yeah, and maybe that's the whole Asian influence is pushing it out a little bit for people. But look, all I do know, people, is if you miss out on this thing, if you miss out on Kubo and the Two Strings, then you're missing out on something unique and very, very special. By the way, we're on Facebook Live. We record the podcast each and every Monday. We do it live on Facebook video, so you can watch us as we're doing it and making absolute hames of it. You can notice that we don't do any editing here. Go back and say that thing about the Irish Catholic again. So you can watch, you can interact in Facebook Live video, you can tweet us, Twitter, @TheMovieBit, and of course, if you're a subscriber in iTunes and Stitcher, then you can email podcast@themoviebit.com. So if you're watching this live, you get to hear this and watch this before everybody else. You misfortunate fools.
What have you done?
Hang on, let's go to quick 1 or 2 comments on the on the Facebook Live video. And there is a lag sometimes when he comes in. Robert Donnelly says, cough, cough, Cars 2.
About what?
Pixar and their...
Oh, okay,
yeah. I guess Leica are still haven't got their Cars 2 equivalent.
No.
And
hopefully
I think,
never.
I think this might be it, but for very different reasons.
Oh, just in terms of how it performed.
Yeah.
Like they haven't put a foot wrong.
Look at this. This is so cool, people. This blows my mind. Fucking internet blows my mind. Besides all the pornography, Robert is currently watching from a sleeper bus in Vietnam. How fucking cool is that?
That is amazing.
That is amazing. That really is amazing. So he's in Vietnam. I don't know if what's the Wi-Fi and the 3G connections like there. He's probably looking at last week's episode. Thank you so much for watching. Send us a picture of you on the bus and post it to the comments on the Facebook Live video, just so we know you're serious. But stay safe if you're in Vietnam.
We're not calling you a liar, but we need proof.
Peter says, Vic, what's going on, man? I'm here with Tom, really. Hanging out.
Just called Ben-Hur shit.
Yep, that's it. We're going to go off to Irish Catholic, and it's great. And there's lightning about to strike one of us down anyway. So, final review this week, folks, is...
Don't Breed.
Don't Breed.
Yep. This is the...
Which is something we can't do when we get up to the studio here. For about 5 minutes. I'm so thankful my wife is a qualified first aider, just in case one of us fucking keels over by the time we get up.
Anyway, Don't Breed is oh god, this is the second movie from Fede Alvarez, who his first feature was the Evil Dead remake, and which was amazing. Really kind of, for me anyway, it put out Fede Alvarez as a director to watch, and Don't Breed has come our way 3 years later, and make no mistake, this man is destined for great things. Okay, we're in typical home invasion movie territory here, except we're expected to root for the invaders. So it's
a little bit different.
A little bit different, yeah. It's 3 delinquents from Detroit, Jane Levy, Dylan Minnette, and Daniel Zovato, and they aim to earn enough money to get out of their deadbeat lives by robbing the home of a reclusive blind army veteran, Stephen Lang, who's credited only as the blind man. He's said to be sitting on a nest egg of $300,000, and he's blind. What's the worst thing that can happen?
Okay.
So they break into his rundown house in the middle of just nowhere in Detroit, and they discovered the blind man isn't defenseless as they thought, and thus begins a desperate quest for survival. So from the off, Don't Breed is lean, it's taut, it's an experience that just ladles on the tension to unbearable degrees. Like, Alvarez is incredibly economic with his setup. Like, in the first 10 minutes, get everything we need to know. Rocky wants to take her sister away from her neglectful mother and move to California. Dylan Minnette, Alex is madly in love with Rocky. And then Zovato, playing a guy called Money, he just seems to want to take people's stuff. So that's all you need. That's it. That's all you need to get them in the house. And once they're actually in the blind man house, that's when the real meat of the story begins. Once Lang enters the frame, and Lang is absolutely terrifying. Once he enters the frame, this movie does not let up. He is the perfect antagonist. He is silent for the most part. He is absolutely menacing. He's emotionless, and just watching him go around this dark house, kind of like, he's blind, but he knows this place like the back of his hand. Watch him go around, looking around corners, like pointing, like not knowing if anyone was there, but just pointing the gun anyway. It is fantastic, and there's the sound mix in this as well. That's just it's never kind of in your face. It's always in, like, you always hear it in the background, but it just does it. It goes a long way to keeping you edge of your seat. Like, there's no jump scares here. Alvarez doesn't truck with that sort of thing, and every moment is carefully planned, and the movie marches on, and he turns the screws tighter and tighter and tighter. Like, I felt really uncomfortable watching this, and not in a bad way. Just that this movie is so tense. I absolutely loved it from start to finish. Like, it's a really simple story. Just one guy stalking 3 people around the house, but Alvarez makes it work, and he keeps the audience at the edge of your seat. But he just doesn't rely on the simple premise. He throws in, like, twists and turns that are shocking and brutal. Like, this movie goes places that you kind of going, that will make you feel a little bit uncomfortable, but it's worth sticking in there. If there's a downside to be found with Don't Breed, is the third act. They tease an ending maybe 3 or 4 times, and there's 3 or 4 perfect moments where the movie could have ended, but then goes on for another maybe 2 or 3 minutes. And, like, these false finishes, they don't derail the story too much, don't take away from the enjoyment, but it's the final ending left a bad taste in my mouth. Not too much. It kind of awkwardly sets up a sequel, which it didn't need. It had 4 times, like 20 minutes before, where it could have just ended and it would have been a perfect movie. Like, this is a totally refreshing addition to home invasion thriller. It takes simple story, it spins off in clever, terrifying ways. If you're a horror fan, stop what you're doing right now and go watch Don't Breed. 4 stars.
Ooh.
Yeah.
All right. Time to unleash your critically acclaimed screen actor in a movie that isn't starting yet. Normally, these quotes are generally quite short. This week, Tom has provided the longest line for the critically acclaimed screen actor segment in history. So if there was ever a possibility for this to go cataclysmically wrong...
I'm pushing you, Vic. I'm pushing.
This is it. Tom likes to push, but he doesn't like to pull. Anyway, are we right?
Yep.
Let's go see this go. Calamity go. People, you're in for a treat here. If this works, if not,
this is live, people, live.
A critically acclaimed screen actor quotes movies he hasn't started. This is where they fought the Battle of Gettysburg. 50,000 men died right here on this field, fighting the same fight that we are still fighting among ourselves today. This green field right here, painted red, bubbling with the blood of young boys. Smoke and hot lead pouring right through their bodies. Listen to their souls, men. I killed my brother with malice in my heart. Hatred destroyed my family. You listen, and you take a lesson from the dead. If we don't come together right now on this hallowed ground, we too will be destroyed, just like they were. I don't care if you like each other or not, but you will respect each other. And maybe, I don't know, maybe we'll learn to play this game like men.
As fucking as that goes, you know, Tom seems to forget that I used to read erotic novels on the radio in that voice with no rehearsal, with no preparation. So yeah. All right. Let's...
We're going to bring in the script that Gone with the Wind next week.
Yes, that's it. The podcast will be 15 hours long. Hang on. Robert Donnelly's just messaged. Is this the guy that's watching us live on a sleeper bus in Vietnam? Or we've got a message somewhere. Where's it gone? Oh, there it is. There he is. There he is on the... how do we bring this to the screen? Let me see. Can we bring this to the screen? You know what? I can't. We'll get it up. Hang on. Let's get it there. And let's save this. Moving on, though, on the movie news side of things. It's a big week for movie news. First up is Daniel Radcliffe.
Yep.
Who you all know as Harry Potter.
What? Yeah. So you may have heard, a week ago, 2 weeks ago, there's a rumor going around that Warner Brothers want to bring Harry Potter and the Cursed Child, the play that the stage play that acts as a sequel that J.K. Rowling wrote. It's currently doing gangbusters in London. They wanted to bring the big screen, and the rumor goes they're going to bring it by 2020. I think that's a bit too early. It is going to happen. Warner Brothers have an entire section, an entire department in their studio dedicated to developing Harry Potter movies. So yes, Cursed Child is coming. We don't know when. But Daniel Radcliffe opened up on whether or not he'd return as Harry Potter. And this is what he said. "I'm never going to close the door. That would be a stupid thing to do. But I think I'll be happy enough and secure enough to let someone else play it. At the moment, it's not even concerned because I'm too young to play the character, but even in 10 years' time, I would still feel strange about coming back to it."
That's not bad going, in fairness.
No.
It would be interesting if he did come back to it. But
I can imagine Warner Brothers will splash the cash to get all of them back, to get Emma Watson.
In what kind of... I don't know. Are they beyond it at this point in their career?
At this point, yes. I think they're all doing what they want. Rupert Grint is going to be on TV next. He's going to be in a Snatch TV show. Daniel Radcliffe is happy doing indie stuff. Same with Emma Watson. So, but 10 years, 15 years down the line, who knows?
How old? I mean, he'd be 60 then.
Yeah, no.
Give or take.
He's 30 now.
Yeah.
So 10 years down, he's 40, Vic.
All right, I'm just trying to get the dude on the screen here that's living in a sleeper van or a bus in Vietnam watching this. But yeah.
So but he did, if he does go for it, if he is offered, he did say something that might be a factor in him taking the role. He went on to say, "There's part of me that's like, some things are better left untouched. If we went back to Potter, there's a chance we'd make what Star Wars Force Awakens was the original Star Wars. But there's also a chance that we'd make the Phantom Menace. So I don't want to go back."
Hang on. What's he fucking saying? The Phantom Menace isn't good?
Yeah. I thought we all knew that.
All right.
Yeah. Okay. So don't want to go back to anything like that and maybe sour what people have already loved.
I guess it's fair enough.
Do you now want to fight Daniel Radcliffe?
Yes, let's fight him. We fought Paul Fegan one. I think we can take Radcliffe possibly.
You don't have magic powers.
You never know. No. You never know. So hang on. Let's get the just before we move on to what have we got next? The Siege of Jadatville. We'll get that in there momentarily now. But before we do anything else, because he went to the trouble, this is frightening to say the least. But people are watching us on Facebook Live video, right?
Yeah.
So, maybe this will start the thing where you send us a picture where you're listening, and we'll get it up here on screen. So Robert Donnelly's on a sleeper bus in Vietnam watching live. And, he has sent us his picture. There he is.
There we go.
Hey, Rob. How's it going?
Sorry for doubting you.
Looks like there's something wrong with his face. It's like all smashed up on one side. Is that the food? I don't know. But anyway, cheers for that, Rob. We really appreciate it.
Thank you very much, sir.
We believe you that you're not on a bus going through Patrick Street at this time. So, there, Vietnam. You've conquered the world, Tom. We've conquered the world. Hopefully,
if the world is Vietnam, we've conquered the world.
Hopefully we'll conquer the Blog Awards, which is happening this Thursday evening. Last year we won Best Arts and Culture, thanks for all the votes and all of that jazz, and thanks to the judges who judged, obviously.
Thank you.
Hopefully we'll get Best Film and TV and Best Arts and Culture again this year, but we shall remain to see what happens with that. And best of luck to everybody who's made the final there for that as well. Okay, the Siege of
Jadotville.
Yeah.
So this is coming to Netflix and some select cinemas around Ireland. It's based on true story. In 1961, there was 150 Irish UN soldiers sent to the Congo to keep the peace, while changeover control of the region to pro-Western factions. And we have Jamie Dornan taking a break from Christian Grey. He plays Commandant Pat Wilson, head of this base, Jadotville, and him and his recruits soon find themselves facing down a force of 3,000 local troops led by French and Belgian mercenaries in the employ of local mining companies. So this is kind of a little bit different from your usual Irish movie.
Which is good. It's not a zombie horror movie.
No, not a zombie horror movie. It's not about drugs. It's not about homeless people. And it looks pretty intense. The trailer you can find on moviebit.com. It's action-packed. Like, it's something I wouldn't expect from the Irish film industry. Of course, they have some Netflix money behind them. But yeah, this looks really good, and it's going to be released on Netflix on October 7th worldwide, and it's going into Irish cinemas on September 19th.
Cool. All right, moving on. The DCEU are looking for their tax money back off Apple. No, hang on. It's, the DC Comics Extended Universe.
Yeah.
People will be well aware that
Cinematic was taken.
The old DC stuff isn't doing so well cinema-wise at the moment. Batman v Superman was ultimately a disappointment.
Like Batman v Superman made what, 800 million?
I don't know. I'm not on Box Office Mojo right now.
Yeah, Suicide Squad has reached 700 million, so it's doing well.
Talking to that mic, Tom.
I'm sorry.
Nobody can fucking hear you.
It's doing well box office, but it's not doing as well as Warner Brothers would like, and it's been critically just demolished, hammered into the ground, and a lot of that is coming from fans and critics alike. It's the darkness, the grittiness of the DCEU. It's like they saw, Dark Knight did well. Let's just apply that to everyone. Yeah,
let's forget about that, shall we?
Yeah,
that's old hat. That theory is old hat. It shouldn't work anymore.
No. So Warner Brothers are damage control right now. One thing they have done is what wasn't in place was a Kevin Feige. An overseer of everything. It was just every director had control over each of their properties.
So they put in Jeff Johns.
Who
knows his stuff? Comic book fans will.
This man is a legend. This man kind of resurrected the Flash and Green Lantern, and he's a legend in the comic book industry, and he's overseen the next wave of DC movies, and he said. He dismissed the attitude that DC movies have to be dark and gritty, and that what makes them different. He's saying there was a hope there's a hope to the DC universe. Even Batman has that hope, because if he let go of that hope, he'd be as bad as the guys he's fighting. So basically, what he's saying is they're lightening up the DC universe. Will it be seen with Wonder Woman? We don't know.
Unlikely.
Yeah, he came in after Wonder Woman, so we saw it already in Justice League, the Justice League trailer that came online at Comic-Con. a lot of hope and optimism in that.
I don't want to get caught up in you know, sitting here for another 4 hours knocking the shit into Warner Brothers and DC. The reason the whole kind of dark and gritty and realism stuff, the reason that worked for Batman is because it suited the character.
Yes, ground level character.
You know, I mean, if you look at Superman as a character, what was the most recent Superman one? Jim Lee was the artist and Snyder was the writer.
Unchained. Superman Unchained.
I mean, if you look at that, while it's handling lots of things, it's still this bright, popping...
Yeah.
It's an amazing comic as well, by the way, but it's still bright and popping. It's not dark and gritty. That character... You can't have a character that's core colours are red and blue. You can't have them as like a fucking dark, dirty red and like a really dark navy wetsuit. It doesn't work. You can't.
No.
Because people are... You know, what for example, take Coca-Cola. Like if Coca-Cola changed their logo in the morning to something, you know, Batmanized, people...
Well, they don't have a black can.
Yeah, but it's still the white logo. So if they changed it fundamentally enough, thinking that's what...
To a black logo. You wouldn't be able to see it, Vic.
That's it, Tom. That's it. Oh, that was the worst analogy ever. But you get the point.
Yeah.
It's not one paintbrush fits all. One palette does not fit all for these movies.
No.
And I think the best example of this is The Amazing Spider-Man 1, directed by Mark Webb, and the follow-up sequel, also directed by Mark Webb, The Amazing Spider-Man 2.
Complete opposites.
There is a night and day difference. It's like they turned on the lights because that dark, gritty vibe that was going on in The Amazing Spider-Man, it just doesn't suit the character.
No.
Sam Raimi kind of got the tone of the character correct and the look of the character and the palette. I know that's very kind of geeky thing to say, but ultimately people...
That's because we're not geeks.
Yeah. But ultimately, that's the way people look at these things.
Yeah.
You know, you're conditioned to looking at Superman one way for all of your life. And suddenly he's fucking looking like Batman without the mask.
Yeah.
You're going, come on, lads.
And he never smiled.
Yeah, come on, lads. That's what they said. That's what they said in the Irish Catholic. Come
on,
on,
lads. Come on.
Right, okay. So will that work? Yes. And I think they have problems admitting that they need to lighten things up.
Yeah.
There's no problem admitting it. We're not going to spend hours in the podcast analysing it.
Because we have.
Because we've already done it. We'd like to take some responsibility, though, for it.
Yeah.
So, Jeff Johns, if you're watching... Don't mind him.
The taxes. The finger thing means the taxes.
Okay, moving on as well. By the way, we're on Facebook Live Video. You can get in touch with us by dropping a comment on the Facebook Live Video. You can email us, podcast@themoviebit.com, and of course you can also hit up us at Twitter @themoviebit, and subscribe on iTunes and Stitcher, because if you do, you get all the brand new episodes for free each and every week. Make us think that our lives are worthwhile, and subscribe. So, right, moving on. Chris Benoit, the WWE fans know WWF Night is never coming back, or WF Night is never coming back. Private joke there that a handful of people may get. But there's been talks of the Chris Benoit biopic for a long time. I guess the question that I would ask is, why would Hollywood go and glorify a family murderer? Which is one question, but obviously Hollywood deals in reality and true stories on a daily basis, so I guess that argument can be null and void, because that argument should have been made for 1,000 other movies.
Foxcatcher.
Exactly, yeah. So Chris Benoit was a WWE wrestler way back in the day. Then he killed his family and killed himself.
Yep. So it was a tragic event. His autopsy revealed that he had the brain of an 80-year-old Alzheimer's patient. He was only 40, in his 40s. And it brought to light a lot about concussions in sports entertainment. Like, if you watch any of the matches, he was taking headshots, unprotected headshots with a steel chair. Yes, they're gimmick steel chairs, but they're still £10. One match I saw months before the tragic event, he dived through the ropes and in midair got hit in the head with a chair. So back in the late 90s, early 2000s, they didn't really care about concussions. A lot of people have damaged themselves. Yeah,
the NFL was another alleged example of all of that.
And this story has parallels to concussion.
The Will Smith
Will Smith was exactly about that.
It sounded like you had a concussion there.
Well, you did hit me earlier. So
I wasn't with my fist on. It wasn't with my fist.
So yeah, obviously this is going to be a lot more tragic, and they've announced the director, Lexi Alexander, who directed Punisher Warzone and Green Street, and a lot of people say, hang on, Punisher Warzone, is this the right director? That was very over the top and kind of just blatantly violent. But why I think she's a great director is Lexi Alexander got the Punisher. She got the Punisher. The Punisher is an over the top character. That's all he is. He is just violence personified. So trying to build a meaningful story around the Punisher didn't work. And yeah, a lot of people didn't like Punisher Warzone. I liked it for what it did. And she showed herself as a director who gets the material. So she's not going to, like Green Street. Can you equate any of that to Punisher Warzone?
All of it.
Oh yeah?
No.
If you'd watched those two movies not knowing Lex Alexander directed both of them,
yeah.
would you say she directed it?
Yeah, there's a night and day difference.
Night and day difference.
Night and day difference.
She's the director who gets the material, and yes, we can say it should they make this movie, but I feel if Lex Alexander does make it, I don't think this movie will be made. I think WWE will shut it down.
On what grounds? Because they own
all the trademarks to the characters. They
don't own his name though, do they?
They don't own his name, but they own Chris Jericho's name. They own Triple H, Stone Cold Steve Austin.
Yeah.
There's a lot of trademarks to work there. But if this movie is made, I think Lexi Alexander will treat her with respect.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of those things they need delicate hands. To get them together in some way. Great news for Duncan Jones, one of our favorites here. Even though even he'll admit that he was quite frustrated with Warcraft. Yeah. The movie. It wasn't all that it was cracked up to be, unfortunately for him. But Duncan Jones tweeted earlier on this morning, can't believe Mute_film, that's a Twitter account, is finally happening. Heading to Berlin this week. So excited. Decided I'll do a Blink and You Miss It cameo too. So that's a screenshot that you can see there if you're watching on Facebook Live from the comic book Mute. This is something that Duncan Jones has been trying to get off the ground for like 1 trillion years, and everybody has turned him down. But finally, it's going to happen.
Did he need to show he could make money first?
Maybe. Yeah. Maybe. I think Duncan Jones is one of the most talented directors out there. I think this may suit his style a little bit more, where it's not a studio picture in the usual guise of the way Warcraft.
Yeah, it's kind of back to Source Code and Moon days.
And Moon, yeah, Source Code and Moon are just incredible pieces of film. Moon in particular. Yeah. Source Code was a solid enough follow-up. I think Warcraft, because he's such a geek, because he's such a gamer, he was always going to make a play for this to get it done. Yeah. And
it seems to be a passion project of it.
Yeah, I didn't like Warcraft. I thought there was too much studio interference. He felt as frustrated.
Yeah,
right. Those are the words I think he used it on.
That's a word bandied about.
So let's see him do this as well, and then leave Duncan Jones do something that he really wants to do without studio interference. Yeah. I think Marvel Studios would be a good place for him, because they seem to leave the directors do their stuff to a point.
Edgar Wright wouldn't say so.
Well, yeah. Yeah. Maybe actually. I don't know.
No, yeah, it's
but give you have to
play
else.
In the MCU. You have to play ball with Marvel Studios, but they give you a lot of leeway to do what you want. Like the let Shane Black set Iron Man 3 and Christmas Eve, which. Do we know why nearly all of his films set on Christmas Eve? No.
Tom, I don't even know why you're here, let alone why Shane Black stuff is on Christmas Eve.
Oh, we love you, Shane. I'm delighted for him. This seems to be a passion project, so he's finally getting to do it. And yeah, hopefully studios will realise, okay, if we let this guy off the leash, he delivers.
Yeah. Speaking of delivering, well, actually, the opposite of delivering, we're not. We kind of have a bit of a ban on the site on themoviebit.com for teasers of teasers. So, what a teaser of a teaser is that it's like a 15 to 20 second clip teasing the teaser trailer for a particular movie. So, normally the teaser trailer will come out, we'll say, in this example, Tuesday.
Yeah.
Tomorrow. if you're listening live or tonight on the podcast. But the teaser for the teaser trailer is out now, so it's teasing what's coming to tease tomorrow. It's a stupid idea. It gets a lot of hype. We're not running these teaser trailers anymore. But for 50 Shades of May fans, there's a look. If you're on Facebook Live, you can see the poster of Jamie Dornan and Mrs. Fanning. What's her name?
Dakota Johnson.
Or Dakota Johnson.
You have a problem with that.
Yeah, I always, when we did the original movie, I was like, it's not Dakota Fanning. Yeah. Anyway, so yeah, I mean, the trailer is the teaser trailer is just shit. Like the movie, as far as I'm concerned. The whole 50 Shades of Grey thing is, it's a whatever about the book. Yes, if it opened up your sexual inhibitions and opened you up quite literally, then that's great. That's good for you, because people were reading 50 Shades of Grey on the subway, they were reading it on the bus, they were reading it in the studio here. It was insane. And it opened people up, and that's a good thing. So, like, it was a positive thing, but it was a really poorly written book. I think that's globally accepted.
Started as Twilight / fiction.
Yeah, and I mean, the movie itself was... Oh, hang on, Jamie Dornan's on top of me. Oh. Where have you heard that one before, huh? Not here. So the movie was just a really, really bad interpretation of the book, because the book is fairly explicit, as I think if you've read any of it, as people know. So the book is fairly explicit. They couldn't really get those explicit levels up to book levels in the movie, and it was just awful. I remember taking my wife to see it, who, you know, she's still watching, really liked the book so much so that she bought all the other books. Nobody wants to see her Kindle fucking library, and she felt disappointed by the whole thing. And there's no, you know, that would be like me going into a Star Wars movie and then going, oh, fucking they kill Han Solo. Anyway, so the 50 Shades Darker trailer, the full teaser trailer, which will be a minute and a half, probably 2 minutes, will roll out tomorrow. Yes, we will carry that because it's a full thing, as opposed to a teaser of a teaser. Obviously, the first movie was a disaster. It was critically destroyed. Obviously, it was an easy target because the book was so big. But as a movie, it didn't work. Jamie Dornan and what's her name again? Dakota Johnson. Thank you, Tom.
South Dakota Johnson.
They had no chemistry. It was poorly edited. It was poorly scripted. There was no continuity. Hello, Mr. Grey. Oh, look at the sun outside. 15 seconds later, I'm out on the street and it's raining. It was.
Hang on, we live in Ireland. We know that can happen.
Pull hard down the line.
Pull hard.
Pull hard up tip. But yeah, no, it's for me. I can't wait to go see this. Not to shit can it, to see that they learn from their mistakes.
Well,
here's the thing: the audience is the key here, because, you know,
fool me once
and turn on the oven again. Isn't that it? Was it?
Yeah, let's just say.
Let's bake bread.
Pull hard.
So the audience is the thing that, whether they'll forget how bad the first one is. Remember Sex and the City, the movie, and the sequel was 10 times worse. I'm not saying this is what's going to happen with 50 Shades Darker, but the audience numbers, people remember. Not everybody remembered, but people remembered. And I guess, you know what? That's fair enough. Robert is back there in the sleeper van in Vietnam. Adult comic book movie like the good days of movies like Spawn.
Yeah, I like Spawn.
He killed everybody, didn't he?
Yeah.
And actually, you know what? Speaking, because we're on Facebook Live as well, Todd McFarlane has an amazing Facebook Live session. Absolutely amazing. He draws characters. He teaches you how to draw. It's
creator of Spawn, for people who don't know.
I mean, he's really, 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 really good. Dances there. Hopefully not. What a rubbish film. What was that in reference to? Maybe the 50 Shades of Grey thing. I'm not sure. That is more or less us for this week. Is it, Tom?
Yeah. We're done for another day. Will there be another Deadpool? Says Peter. Seaman, we're on the Marvel topic. Yes, there will. Yeah, of course.
We revealed that to you exclusively many moons ago when we spoke to
Rhett
Reese, who of course not only wrote Zombieland but wrote a ton of other movies, including Deadpool, and Rhett gave us a nice little hint of what's to come. And if you subscribe to this behemoth of bullshit of a podcast, then you can get that interview for free by subscribing on iTunes or Stitcher. We're due another old chat with Rhett really soon, so we'll get him on. Speaking of chats as well, by the way, The Young Offenders, great new Irish movie, probably one of the funniest Irish movies in quite some time. Directed and written by Corkman Peter Foot. He's on the podcast as well, the episode previous to this, so if you subscribe, you get that for as well. I grew up with him.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. I didn't really know him that well.
Yeah.
But that's how we broke bread and ice on the podcast. Oh, you kind of grew up near you. Where'd you live? Oh, 15 miles away. Well, no, it wasn't 15. I lived like...
That's next door neighbour in Ireland.
I lived 15 minutes from where he lived. Or maybe he lived 10-15 minutes from where I lived.
And they shot the movie 10 minutes from where I live.
That's it, yeah. The prisons are very flexible these days. That's more or less it for this week. So, thank you for watching. Why do I keep thinking that we're forgetting something?
Are we forgetting something?
If you want, okay, and we're extending this just by a little bit, and this is specifically for people watching, because if you're listening to this competition is over. We've got a preview screening of Dare to Be Wild happening at the Omniplex tomorrow night. Wednesday night rather, at 6:30. If you want to go to themoviebit.com right now, and you will see a little entry form, fill in your details, and we'll see, can we get some people some double passes to go along and see. They can bring somebody that they can tolerate. That's always the thing I say when you go to cinema. You need to bring somebody that you can tolerate, because let's face it, I can't tolerate Tom in a cinema. Tragically, we've watched numerous press screenings together, and Tom clapping and barking like a seal, climbing over seats.
Only happened once.
Once was enough. Once was enough. But yeah, so you can check that out, themoviebit.com. And that's it, isn't it? That's it. Pull hard, lads, pull hard. Thumbs up for the lads in the Irish Catholic for watching all of this the whole way through, or listening the whole way through to see what else did we say. Maybe I should email them. Where's the review for Ben-Hur from the Irish Catholic? Or did Paramount just ring them up and go, how are you getting on? Paramount here, what do you think of that movie, lads? Jesus, great, 4 stars, full hell. You can't see that in the poster. Oh, Jesus, astounding spectacle. But if that's what they thought, then good for them.
Yeah.
Everybody else in the world thought, well. That's it, is it?
Yeah,
that's it. Let's
get out of here.
We've no post bonus show this evening, do we? There's a lot of people watching. So maybe we should shut down the normal recording of the podcast. Yeah?
Yeah.
We'll shut down the normal recording of the podcast. So subscribe on iTunes and Stitcher. And then you can get each and every podcast for free each and every week. So thanks to everybody for listening. Goodbye, everybody.
Goodbye.
The MovieBit.com podcasts. Available on iTunes, Stitcher, TuneIn, direct download, and streaming on the MovieBit.com. Streaming and creaming. Yeah.